Hey guys, how's it going? We are going over another video today, and this time it's going to be the Gryphon. But before we do that, I just want to say another huge thank you to everybody that's been hanging out, supporting the videos, all the new subs, all the awesome comments. I read every comment, I try to answer, I try to respond, and help you guys out and understand things better. I appreciate all the likes too. You guys have been amazing. Keep it up, keep it up. Any questions, comments, just chatter. I love reading your guys' comments, helping you out, getting you to understand this game. I greatly appreciate it. You all are awesome. So today, we're going on the Gryphon. I might be a little off today on this one video because it is really early in the morning, and I'm trying to make this video before I go to work. But let's go. So, Gryphon. Gryphon is one of the best units in the game, hands down, no question asked. Especially in this game. They were good in the other version as well. There's a few ways to play Gryphons. You want to get them ASAP. They're available in Chapter 2. If you couldn't get any in Chapter 1, you come right here to Farampa Wildwood, and it's the first encounter you get. You'll normally get Gryphons and humanoids, and maybe some Hawkmen. But if you don't get Gryphons, just redo the battle, and Gryphons will show up again. The battles are kind of like random, so you'll get different units. So go there for a Gryphon guaranteed. Need a Beast Tamer to get the bad boy. But anyway, Gryphons. So, there's a few really good builds, few really good things about Gryphons. I use my Gryphons in two different ways. The first way is I use them to harass the back line, and the reason for that is because of their mobility. They have 5 movement, and they also have the dash ability, which if you don't know what dash does, it basically gives more movement to the unit, which dash 2, I believe, gives 2 movement. So with 7 movement, you can get around the battlefield really good. You can get back, get the enemy mages, get the healers, get the casters, all the little squishy boys. Get in there and mess them up. I have Wind Shot for huge AoE on this one. When I do get in the back line tends to kind of clutter together. I can drop this on and just hit everything. It's an amazing ability. I find it best to spec your Gryphon into one thing. Don't take just take one of these. Don't take 2. They cost a lot of MP. The chances of you using both of them, consecutively, are pretty not going to happen. So just pick one, build around that, and use one of your main skills here. So this is kind of he's a medic Gryphon, as you can tell. I got him 2 revivals and 2 good healing items. The revival stones, the blessing stones, are great because anybody goes down, he can fly to them no matter where they're at. It might take a turn, maybe 2. But he can get there, get him up, get him back in the fight, and he's not hindered by terrain, no matter where the unit dies, on a roof, down in a valley, in the water. He can get there. So, and I make him a little more tanky because he is distracting the enemy. That is what I want the Gryphon to do. Just absorb shots, be hard to kill. That's why we have the healing items, to make him more of a nuisance to the enemy. Where they're like, I have mages nuking me, everybody's smacking them, and I'm just... Oh, pop a mending salve, move around, So that's one way with the medic and kind of the harassment build. And then usually I always have a second Gryphon as well. Now, this guy, he could also fulfill the medic role, but he's more of a harasser, and we have Blood Siphon, so when I hit enemies, I just life leech their HP, so I'm even more harder to kill. You could say these builds are similar, which I would agree to an extent, but they're also very different, and both Gryphons have pincer attack, because both of these guys are going to be back there just dividing up the back line, making them separate, making them spread out, and then my other units can go in and pick them off. But the Gryphon by far is one of, if not the best beast units you can get, and it's early on, and it's such a great harasser. It's able to do so much just with the movement. The movement, and its RT is pretty good too at 76, which means it's going to be always the first to act at the beginning of almost every turn. You're never going to have to be the last one to go, so you always have that element of getting in first, doing what you got to do. It's phenomenal, and its vitality is a pretty high compared to what you would think. Monster units tend to have good vitality because they can't have gear. We got 142 on this guy and 139 on this one. I mean, look at the dragon, 154. We'll talk about dragon another time, but compared to, look at these, 110, 125. Look at my knight. My knight's only 127. These guys almost have 20 more vitality, which is huge. So, if you get a Gryphon, you can play it aggressive on the back line. You can play it with your frontline units. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Or like I said, mine are kind of hybrid. They're assaulting the back line, and they're also there to revive or be a medic, which kind of outdoes my cleric to an extent because I can give them, you know, exorcism if I need to, if there's undead, all this other stuff. Highly recommend a Gryphon as your first monster unit that you get. There is nothing wrong with them. They are solid forever. Heck, you could go 3 or 4 Gryphons. And if you really want to make the Gryphon shine too and be an offensive powerhouse, you get your Beastmaster. You're going to have to set him up a little different. Make sure he gets Repel Beast, possibly, if you're going against a bunch of beasts, or at least Empower Beast, because then that's an auto proc and he'll make your Gryphons even better. And who doesn't want better Gryphons? So this isn't really any kind of secrets. This is really covering Gryphons at a mid-game level. Gryphon gets more skills and can do a little bit more things later on, which I'll make another video to cover, like, end-game units. These unit videos that I'm going to make now are going to be more about mid-game, level 20 to 30. You know, we're not getting all into the meat and potatoes, but we're going over just the basics and what you can do with some of these units that you may not realize. And a Gryphon is one of them. You wouldn't think much, but they are very solid. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.